Ooh, tried to find the outside there, but will just barely be out. Still leading in the count. Munhall's next pitch. Delivered to Warren, who does take a chunk out of it down low and will be caught swinging. Gainsville very, very quickly brings this one to 2 outs. As number 1, Jay Nunez, will find his way up. The righty from Chattahoochee Valley looking to get a start here as that one clips the top corner. Again, almost a reawakening for Munhall here in the second inning. Looking to keep that roll going. Does bait out a swing on the outside pitch. Crackers, however, should stay fairly warm after getting to go through the entire order with, again, Nunez being the leadoff man here in the second. That one. The referee will scream from the first base line. He did not go, in case you were at all confused. I also do apologize if the sound was not with us in the first inning. Not sure what's going on. Again, technical difficulties trying to get set up in a very quick doubleheader here, but 1-2 count now with audio as we follow the second inning. That one, another foul ball, staying alive is Nunez. Munhall. Too early in the season to be taken out, even with the bad first inning, and Gainesville knows they have the power and the pitcher to get back into this one. However, that is struck out towards the center fielder, trying to track it. Diving, sliding play will be caught. Unbelievable effort in the outfield. And how about Gainesville all of a sudden in a hot streak? Granted, still a lot of work to do on the batting end, but they'll be right back at it in the bottom of the second, which we'll bring to you very soon. Don't go anywhere. back out of here in the bottom of the second. Even with the camera issues, you only missed a flying pop out, excuse me. You also catch a strike right down the middle as the Crackers look to contain this lead and contains this Gainesville side that is trying to build momentum after a great second inning from Munhall. That one catches the outside. Gainesville working through the bottom side of the order. This is Jason Williams up to bat. At the 7th spot. Looking to still do damage. Boeha catches the outside. Will strike him out. And to Williams, absolute dismay. Thought that was for sure the pitch that would get him to first, but umpire argues otherwise, and that will be the final say. That brings it to 2 outs now. Very quickly here. Brings up Ozzie Patterson, the catcher, up next. Pitches in. Will be caught weakly, however, is over Boyha's head. Running play from the second baseman will find its way on. And the Crackers will do it up and down just like that. By the time we get the tech issues working, the game might be over with how quick these teams are playing defense. But we'll see what follows in the third. Munhall remains on the plate as we welcome you to the top of the third. Gainesville still looking to get back into this one, but in a 7-inning game, or at least what they're hoping it will be. Obviously, Gainesville still within mercy rule territory, but we'll get there if we have to. Crackers right back up to bat, with Munhall still looking to get back on track. First pitch delivered is outside. Will be ball 1 to start. It's going to be Caleb Farr, the center fielder, at bat. Will bring the count to 2-0 now in their favor. As for Caleb Farr, currently playing at the University of North Georgia, not too far down here Also, a honor roll scholar at UNG. So how about that? Putting the student athlete. Plenty of film to study up on Munhall, as well as that one is up and high inside. We'll bring the count to 3-0, but only so much you can study when the count is so heavily in your favor. Guaranteed take surely comes next as well. This one is also inside. We'll go 4-0 and Munhall. Just a slight woe to kick off the third.
Right fielder number 6, Braden Gable.
Be Braden Gable, the left fielder, up next for their second at bat this game. Munhall delivers. Outside again. That makes it 5 straight balls now. Again, so early in the season, if you are a Gol'Diggers coach, you don't want to substitute a pitcher so early, especially with the game once again against the Crackers this Wednesday as well. This one delivered, needs that strike, will find it. Far not looking to make too much of a move from that first base as well, which allows Munhall to continue to worry about the batter. That one inside, though, will bring the count to 2-1. Pitch to try and even up the count. Will be an attempted steal as well. As I said, did not think Farr was going to get a move on there, but Gable will go ahead and strike it foul. Does even out the count regardless. No outs so far. This has been a staple of the Crackers offense over the years in the SBL. Continue to strike hard and often. Staying on base for majority of innings, as that one is struck on a little too early. We'll be finding the other side of that third base path, towards the dugout, if you will. Staying alive, though. Gable also, by height, the smallest position player on the roster, fun fact. Sitting at 5'8", 165. Doesn't look it from here, though. Trying to use that frame to their advantage, as it's the hardest box on the team, technically, to find. Munhall now brings the count full. Again, looking for that first out this inning as well. Farr has not attempted to try and steal again. Does get a slightly extended lead and will be sniffed out by Munhall, but very quickly able to return. Just keeping him honest. Still full count at the plate. Braden Gable looks to move himself and his teammate forward. Pitch is delivered. Will be struck. That one is high and out between the center and right fielders. Will be catchable. Will be right to the right fielder. It's one thing that Gainesville's got a lot of in this roster is a lot of speed, especially in that outfield.
Number 36, extra hitter, Tyler Jackson.
I'll bring up Tyler Jackson up next in the extra hitter spot in the lineup. Pitch delivered, once again struck out to that right field, and tracking back towards the wall, tries to get off. It will bounce off the wall and over the right fielder. Relay does come in and will advance the runners around, including Farr all the way to third. Big double for Jackson. Slight checkup for Jackson on the timeout there just to get the gear off.
Left fielder number 4, Tyler Hilton.
That'll bring Tyler, or actually it'll be Connor Hilton coming up to the plate now. Once again, one of the strongest bats on this roster.
Connor Hilton.
This is who you look out for to make a big play to try and bring these runners in. That one is absolutely pelted. It will be short in front of the center fielder who is playing back on purpose. However, no tag from far. So the runner will remain at third. That'll be the second out of the inning as well. Not sure if it was a miscommunication or a delayed decision, but regardless, good throw out there from the center fielder to bring that one back in.
Catcher number 10, Nathan Schaffer.
I'll bring up Nathan Schaefer up next, the catcher. Playing at Flagler College, also out of North Gwinnett in Swanee, not too far from here either. Pitch delivered from Munhall will be struck between third and short, will be swung over to the first base for the third out. First baseman had to jump off, but did still find the tag. You'll take it by any means, and you'll keep the Atlanta side scoreless as we go to the bottom of the third. Bottom of the third now. It's Gainesville trying to find their way back again into the long-winded comeback that it must take to get back against this Atlanta squad. Again, a very large favorite here in the Sunbelt Baseball League. As we welcome you back to the end of this doubleheader. Be A.J. Jones up to bat now. Look to lay a bunt, but the low pitch will take that and throw it away. Jones still battling Boea. Or Boasia again, excuse me. Didn't really get a pronunciation guide up here in the booth, but we're all working together. Dealing with all the tech issues and, again, trying to get this opening week up and running. Especially when this Crackers-Gainesville game was supposed to be 2.5 hours north of here, actually, and then got rained out. But baseball is baseball, and Monday night primetime, well, it's a pleasure to bring it to you here. Bunt attempt once again. We'll be outside, and we'll get A.J. Jones a walk. Well played.
Shortstop number 42,
Anthony Almaroff find his way back up to the plate here. Back to the top of the lineup for Gainesville. had a massive double to kick off this game and ended up leading to the very first run of the game as well for Gainesville. Catches the outside of the plate. Boasia keeps on fighting. Next pitch is delivered. Similar idea. Will be kept and dealt with by the catcher. That great piece of work will make sure that no one can advance. And again, there is a ton of speed on this Gainesville roster. I mean, A.J. Jones alone ran a 6.37 second 60-yard dash. And Almaroth got to be aware of that in the practice. Not to mention one of the fastest 10-yard splits on this team as well. 1.5 second 10-yard split. With what many scouts praise as a explosive first step. Do with that what you will. Almaroth down to 2 strikes in the count. That one inside. Dancing around that one will keep him alive. Almaroth, again, very recently committed to Patrick McHenry Community College. Want to wish him luck and also appreciate him spending his time with us here this summer. Will find his way back in this count slowly but surely as well if this keeps up. One thing special about Almaroth as well, the only switch hitter on this team, and the only switch hitter, I think, on either team right now. We'll try to find that ball. Could it be a double play ball? No, it will just barely, due to the speed of A.J. Jones, will not be a double play ball, but it will be the first out of this side of the inning. Find a smack of a double in your first at bat. Find at least advancing the runner in your second. Nothing wrong with that there. That'll bring up Jock Walker next. Jock Walker, a lot of speed as well. Also, currently playing at Gadsden State Community College, was at the University of South Carolina, Beaufort before that, so a lot of Division II experience. Steal is going to be attempted, and again, this is what you look for in this Gainesville roster. That speed across so many players in this lineup. We'll get him all the way to third. Big for A.J. Jones. Jock Walker as well spent his time in high school at Mill Creek. Back-to-back 7A state championships for Jock Walker. Also hit just over 300 during his entire varsity career. As a rising junior now in college, will at least advance the runner and get Gainesville another chip on that lead.
Third baseman number 9, Landon Barr.
Brings back up Landon Barr to the plate. Again, Landon Barr played at Forsyth Central High School, only about an hour 15 north of here. It's where I drove from today to be at this game, so got to shout out a fellow Bulldog whenever I can. Pitch is delivered from Boasia. Will be a ball to kick off this count. Gainesville, though, have to be happy with at least the slow chipping after a nightmarish meltdown start in the first inning. That one catches the outside. Great pitch from Boasia. Or Boasia, again. We'll get that eventually. It's a long night. Not even halfway through this game yet. Next pitch is delivered. Will be just low. 2-1 on the count now. Barr, a rising sophomore at Gordon State. Hasn't gotten too much collegiate action. That one struck down towards second base. Will be weak. And that's one thing that you can count on Boasia for, is all these pitches are just barely out of reach and are really becoming dribblers for all these infielders. You'll take it, and you will give up a run if you're the Atlanta side, but survival of the fittest for the rest of this game as we get into the real dark of the night, heading into the top of the fourth when we get back. Don't go anywhere. Top of the fourth now, getting to the meat and potatoes of this game. Very much sat down for dinner. It is just about 9:30 p.m. Eastern time here. Started a little late. Got a little awkward in the broadcast, but now we're hitting the real stride of this game as we will see a time called. Getting that last ball off the field there. And now we should be ready to go. Still going to be Cole Munhall on the bump for this Gainesville side, who has done, again, a great job outside of that top of the first. Hasn't allowed a single run since then. That one is towards the head of an Atlanta hitter, but will be dodged. It's going to be Mezar, at the bat as well. Hitting in the 7th spot for him. Does get a great chunk of that one, but count will go to 1-1.
Number 3, Lee Bizarre.
Mazar still looking for a better pitch to swing at. That one, huge breaking ball from Munhall. We'll get him swinging there. Brings the count to 1-2. Again, Munhall has been close to unstoppable in most select cases in these last 3 tops of the innings. We're just going to forget about the top of the first for now. Foul ball will keep him alive. Again, 1-2 count, staying alive. Pitch delivered to Mazar. Again at the head. Brings the count now to 2-2. I believe that's actually Parker Lindquist on the mound now, based on what we're hearing from the coaches. As that one is delivered. And a let's go from Parker will strike him out. Well, I will make sure we confirm that as well, but obviously dealing with a lot of numbers and pages and papers up here, so do give us a little bit of grace to kick off this opening week. Parker Lindquist, another Bulldog as well from Forsyth Central, currently playing at Reinhardt, where we were supposed to be last weekend for opening day. Lindquist off to a 1-0 start against. Delivers that one a little too low. Brings the count to 2-0 now. Can confirm that is Parker Lindquist on the mound as well, so I'm glad we got that right. Lindquist as well, one of the more exciting pitching prospects on this roster, one of the younger and youngest players on this roster, but also standing at a massive 6'4", 220, representing Cumming, Georgia. That one inside will be on the just slight corners of the zone. Lindquist as well, fairly decent stay at Forsyth Central. Opponent's batting averages sat at .222. Had a 3 flat ERA. Was praised for a lot of that late movement on his curveball, but also worth noting that his changeup and fastball windows are similar, and maybe some potential trouble there as count will bring itself to 3-1 now with that high ball. Lindquist has yet to record any major stats at Reinhardt as well, so that's why here in the Sunbelt Baseball League, glad to get to see him in full swing. As a second pitcher this season coming out for the Gol'Diggers, and that will be ball 4.
Second baseman, number 7, Gol'Diggers.
Brings up the 9 slot in the lineup for Atlanta. That's Colby Cather. Cather, the second baseman, sitting at 5'9", 170. Pitch from Lindquist is very narrowly inside. I say narrowly inside, more like narrowly at the batter, but maybe Lindquist, maybe a slight statement being made here and there. A lot of inside pitches. Obviously, a game plan's in place. However, catcher positions outside for the follow-up ball. That one will be aimed outside. Massive chunk out of that one taken, but swing and a miss. Again, Lindquist praised by scouts only a year or two ago for that late movement on his curve. And again, when you're looking at that arm slot, his fastball and his changeup are coming out of the same slot. Dangerous at that. 1-1 count. Runner will try to steal, will be hosed potentially, but that ball will find its way to center field. However, smart decision from Mazar, who will stay at second and will take the stolen base. Count, I believe, stands at 2-1 now for Lindquist. Dirt off the shoes, finding his way back up to the mound now. Cather still remains, looking to try and bring a runner home. Atlanta still looking for another run ever since that first inning rally. That one over the back of Cather, and it will be a pass ball and a free third base. That is also Taylor out there on third base, not Mazar, excuse me. Runner in scoring position. Still no outs, I do believe. Short little meeting. Extra words of affirmation from the coaching staff as well. Try and get Lindquist and the catcher back on track. Still looking at Taylor at third. The righty delivers. That one is outside and away, and it won't even be close. It will be the fifth run for the Atlanta side, and Lindquist, another nightmarish topside start for a Gol'Diggers pitcher. That'll bring the count to 3-1 as well. As it only gets harder, the more runs that you give this Atlanta side, again, the favorite here in the SBL, and with a lot of returning players from last year's championship roster as well. Do apologize as well. That was ball 4 that got the runner onto first now, so count resets after that ball to 1-0. Lindquist still trying to find his way settling into this fourth inning. At pivotal point for a potential Gol'Diggers comeback. If it is a start, you'd like to see it now. Second pitch is in. Will be outside. 2-0 count now for Lindquist. At the plate, it's going to be number 29. That's Warren. Will bring the count to, I believe that's 3-0 now as well. Already walked the batter previously. We'll step off the mound just to reset for a quick second. Next pitch is delivered, and that will be ball 4. So back-to-back walks for Lindquist, and not an out recorded yet. Will be instant time from the manager.
Third baseman number 1, Jay Nunez.
It'll also return to the top of the order for the Atlanta side. And of all the places you want to be, especially for your start this season in the SBL, it's a dangerous one with Jay Nunez up to bat. No pitching changes for Gainesville, just a short infield meeting. Try and set Lindquist up for a major bounce back here at the top of the fourth. Top of the order once again for this Atlanta side. That one delivered inside and strike. Still looking to record your first out in this inning. Batters on first and second. Or runners on first and second, excuse me. A little bit of mind games on the backside. Won't be capitalized on. Next pitch is delivered. Does at least force Nunez to swing. Brings the count to 0-2. Big start for Lindquist, again, the leadoff man in the lineup. Next pitch delivers, does force another swing. Nunez still fighting, but not a single ball in the count. Again, Lindquist, obviously whatever was said in that infield meeting. A different beast for now. Looking to get this count to be the first out of his SBL stay. Lindquist. Still mind games on the backside. Will deliver. Nobody steals. That one inside and goes off of Nunez. Count sat at 0-2, but that one is a real heartbreaker. We'll load the bases.
Sunbelt number 8, Caleb Farr.
Still no outs recorded as Caleb Farr comes up to the plate. Not a lot of sayings that can even defend this position. Can't even say rock in a hard place when there's 3 hard places on the field that you got to watch out for. Pitch is delivered inside. Delivered outside, excuse me, will be ball 1. Unfazed is Caleb Farr. Again, the only player on this roster who I saw was a honor roll scholar at their college, so maybe something to take from that there. However, next pitch is behind Caleb Farr. Will be an easy walk-in for that runner. We'll bring the count to 2-0, and we'll bring the run tally to 6-2 now. Don't have a runner on first anymore, but at what cost here in the fourth? Plenty of words of encouragement for the rest of the team here. The young pitcher still looking to record his first out in the SBL. Pitch delivers, aimed inside, another wild ball will bring in, well, did actually hit the batter, so won't bring in that third base runner, but we'll load the bases regardless.
Right fielder number 6, Braden Gable.
3 spot in the lineup now. Left fielder Braden Gable up. Once again, smallest position player on the roster, which don't say that as an insult. Say that as in a struggling frame to try and kick into to get off the struggle bus for Lindquist. Still no pitching changes from the Gainesville coaching staff. Could really start to bite him here. Pitch delivered. Again, that small frame, hard to pitch into. It's going to be ball 1. Still looking for his first out here in the SBL. Next pitch. Low again. Not a wild pitch, but does get away from the catcher from a split second. A lot of leisure for the Atlanta runners right now. Still no outs, just have to play smart. Pretty much a no-pressure situation for everyone on that side of the field. That'll be ball 3. Lindquist fighting it tooth and nail to try and get back into this one. Just two very unfortunate tops of the innings. Again, Munhall in that first, allowing 4 to come in. Lindquist trying to avoid the same or higher. Next pitch. That one will find the middle. We'll bring the count to 3-1. Lindquist at the batter's head, and it will not matter. Nobody has to steal. Bases will remain loaded. Another run will score. Lindquist being subbed out, trying to figure out who that next pitcher is. Do apologize for the quick audio sub out. Have to make sure that our batteries aren't dying up here. Again, it's been a long day for us trying to survive the end of this doubleheader. We'll get our eyes on who that pitcher is in just a second as we try and continue through the top of the fourth. Trey Farr is your pitcher, coming in to try and save what unfortunately Parker Lindquist could not end. Still looking for the first out at the top of this inning. Also, Trey Farr from Cumming, Georgia, from East Forsyth High School. Lindquist from Forsyth Central. Two pitchers who definitely went against one another in their time. Both of them are rising sophomores. Also, Trey Farr was the ace at East Forsyth in his time there. Also an all-region player in 2025. Bases loaded, 0 outs. I mean, any pitcher does not want to be here, but the lefty will try and get out of it, and we'll get it started with an 0-1 count. The first lefty to come out for the Gainesville side as well, with a little bit of pickup on that fastball. Definitely a nice change of pace. Lindquist, I think, unfortunately, was just not able to settle into the inning, and once this Atlanta side gets moving, they never stop. They are the defending champions for a reason, but Titans have to fall at some point. 2 scoreless innings in the second and the third for them, but they'll score in bunches, they'll score in waves, they'll do it at any means possible. They also 2-0'd in this previous year's finals as well. It's because of that type of power right there. That one slapped down to left field, will be caught for the first out, but will be an easy walk-in for run number 8. Decent attempt from that Atlanta side. That was Jackson on that hit. Again, excuse me, as I do not have a lot of the players' numbers, as it's, again, preseason. Haven't been given a lot of information, but do deal with us as we try and settle in. Connor Hilton will be next up to bat. We'll start down 0-1. Again, Connor Hilton, one of the star players of not only last year's championship roster, being a 2025 All-SBL selection, but also hitting .388 at Gordon State last year. Pretty incredible prospect who's already down 0-2, unfortunately, for this side. Only one out still, and still 2 runners on. But Trey Farr is not worried at all about these runners. That pitch, however, breaks outside. Trey Farr as well, attending Columbus State, playing at the Division II level. Was also the number 47 lefty in the state of Georgia coming out of high school. Has been praised very heavily for his breaking ball ability, but has not needed it yet, at least too heavily. Count does get its way back to 2-2 in the meantime. Swing and a miss outside, and that right there will retire the side there. So I think I missed an out there. Excuse me. I guess that will end the top of the 4th as we'll make our way through the halfway point of this game. Down to the bottom, Gainesville in a hole and what could be a coffin if they don't move quickly. We'll see what happens in the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th now. Pitcher Banks Hickman comes out for this Atlanta side. Trying to keep things moving in the right direction, and it has been doing everything and then some for this Atlanta side. Everything is going their way. They've gotten every pitcher's head they need to. And again, they've scored in waves, huge waves at that, with 2 4-run innings. (8-2). Bottom of the 4th. Gainesville won't need to take a shot at that one. That's Evan Warren at the plate, I do believe, the designated hitter. Yes, it is. He's definitely had some big strides tonight with the bat, but still looking for a little more here, as every player is, to try and get their team back. In the 4 spot in the lineup as well, a pretty crucial spot for Gainesville to get back. All it takes is just one clean hit, but won't find it right now. Brings the count to 2 strikes, I do believe. These teams go lefty for lefty. But unfortunately for Banks Hickman, that will be a walk to start off the bottom of the 4th. Gainesville have done a decent job at chipping away, but at what is chipping away whenever you're giving, unfortunately, 2 series of 4 away. That'll be Cade Kiz coming up to the plate, number 14. Trying to keep these runners moving. That ball's outside. A few more extra stats on Hickman as well. 6'1", 190. One of the few lefties on this roster, at least to my knowledge, on the pitching side. I believe one of 3 or 4, but also a very deep pitching team is what Atlanta is. Count goes to 1-1. That pitch towards the dirt. 2-1 now, still trying to fight. Pitches in towards Kiz, who will take a huge chunk out of it. It goes sky high, but will go over the dugout. Brings the count to 2-2, though. Big theme of tonight is a lot of these pitchers really struggling to settle in outside of, obviously, the starting end for Atlanta. Hickman, huge breaking ball will find its way back in towards the zone. Catches him looking. Retires Cade Kiz. And will also get the first out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Left fielder number 3,
Noah Darden now up to bat. Darden as well, one of the returning Gainesville players from 2025. Gets a huge strike that will keep the runners moving. Will grab an extra base while he's at it. Great find there between the outfield and the infield.
Second baseman number 4, Jason Williams.
First pitch in that as well. Great find for Noah Darden. Also, a player representing Cumming, Georgia from West Forsyth High School. Whole lot of Forsyth players on this Gainesville side. Also currently at West Georgia. Was at North Georgia prior. However, Jason Williams now up to the plate. Another player representing Cumming, Georgia, as that one will foul off, from Denmark High Schools. How about that? We've gone through 5 Forsyth County high schools in the span of 30 minutes. Jason Williams as well, one of the more exciting players on this roster, committed to Georgia Southern, is going to be a rising freshman this coming year. Also was the Region 6 to 6A Player of the Year, again from Denmark. But when you face the best team in the SBL, someone's got to get humbled at some point. Jason Williams also hit .475 in high school. Looking to carry that into the college scene. Again, the Georgia Southern commit, very exciting prospect. We do wish him well. Also wish him well at the plate for now, as I believe the count now goes to 1-1. Up against a lefty. Hickman delivers. Is fouled and 90 degrees down to the dirt. Brings the count to 1-2. Williams sees this next pitch, does sky it to center field. It will be in front of the center fielder and fielded fairly easily. So, decent strike, but runners will not move. We'll bring the out count to 2.
number 7, Ozzie Patterson.
Ozzie Patterson now up to the plate. Will take the first pitch that he sees and foul it off. Got to give Hickman some credit here. Lefty finding his way comfortably into the backside of this bottom half of the inning. As for Ozzie Patterson, once again another coming Georgia representative from North Forsyth High School. Skies that one between the first baseman and the outfielders, and it will drop and be fair. Runner makes its way home. And how about that find from Ozzie Patterson? Again, by any means necessary against the defending champs. She'll take it. Great hit. And now I believe that is the 6th Forsyth High School we've been through on this team. So, common theme here. Also, we'll be playing at Georgia Gwinnett College, which is where we'll be spending the majority of our time this season for these Gainesville home games. We're only here at the Georgia State Baseball Complex for the night and for Wednesday night. Then we'll be at Georgia Gwinnett College. So, home field for Ozzie Patterson next week. Starting off now at the bottom of the lineup, A.J. Jones, who had a pretty decent highlight moment earlier in this game with some impressive base running, 2 stolen bases as well. That ball will find its way towards A.J. Runner will find his way on to second. That's Ozzie Patterson getting away scot-free. Hickman in a pretty tough spot. 2 outs, though, so only need to worry about one batter at a time, or at least a play to first. Again, bottom of the lineup as well for Gainesville. Don't want to let them return to the top with potentially bases loaded. Pitches in. Will find its way towards the outside of the plate. Follow-up pitch to Jones. That one outside as well. And that right there is the exact situation you're trying to avoid. Now we return to the top of the lineup. It'll be Anthony Almaroth. Anthony Almaroth now, top of the lineup for Gainesville. We'll look at that first strike in. Bases loaded, down 5 here in the bottom of the 4th. Need your leading men to step up in moments like this. That one could be a double play ball, but it just needs to go to first with 2 outs on. And that's exactly what goes down. We'll return with the top of the 5th and how this Crackers side continues to move. Top of the 5th now. Atlanta still looking to keep this lead chugging along. 8-3 is where things stand as the breaking ball will find its way back in. Still Trey Farr on the mound, I do believe.
Catcher number 10, Nathan Schaefer.
Okay. Resounding he did from the first base umpire will let us know that that's going to bring the count to 0-2 now. The lefty, Trey Farr, has been pretty solid, especially coming into a bases loaded scenario that Parker Lindquist couldn't get out of, and getting Gainsville out of that relatively scot-free, only allowing an extra run. Now with an inning all by himself, we'll try to keep things under control. That ball is sent out. Will be foul, but only by probably a few feet. Count will still remain 0-2. At the plate for Atlanta, it's going to be Schaefer. More specifically, will be the catcher Nathan Schaefer, the freshman at Flagler. Has a powerful frame, trying to put it to work and maybe even find a blooper on that right side, but nothing yet. Prior to starting at Flagler this year, was absurdly clutch for his high school team, playing at North Gwinnett High School in Swanee. Putting that power to use. Isn't able to beat out the throw, though, and it will be the first out of this top side in the 5th.
Shortstop number 3, Luke Mazar.
That'll bring back up Luke Mazar. Hitting in the 7th spot. He's found himself in a lot of pretty crucial spots in this game with many runners on base, but a little more relaxed this time around. Just looking at the Gainesville defense, and we'll look at a strike first. Next pitch in. Catches Mazar swinging. Again, Trey Farr has been pretty dang swell so far. Full pun intended. As for Mazar, down 0-2. Will catch the outside. 3 strikes in a row. Catches him looking. Nice little spark of hope here for Gainesville.
Number 16, Jack Taylor.
Brings up Jack Taylor next, the third baseman. Again, another power hitter on this team, like most of them are. But Trey Farr has had no issue getting him up and sitting him down. That one, however, won't catch the outside. I believe that's the first time this inning that Farr has started down in the count. Trying to fix that, but that one is absolutely slammed in the sky. After touching the clouds, it'll find its way into the glove of the Gol'Diggers third baseman. And how about that? 3 up, 3 down for Trey Farr as we'll make our way to the top of the... Or actually, I take that back. I believe that right there... Let's see here. No, it is the top of the 6th. Excuse me. I had to make sure we weren't encroaching on Mercy Rule territory, but we're going to keep on playing. We'll bring more action to you shortly. London Crownover graces the plate for the Atlanta side. Also, I do apologize for the confusion a little bit at the end there. It is the bottom of the fifth. Want to make sure we get that right. Again, doubleheader. It's been a very busy day of baseball for us up here in the booth. Gainesville still in a hard place, trying to make up 5 runs. That bat down the first base line will not be the way to do it. Climate-controlled tag will get the first out on the first pitch. Again, no extra notes on London Crownover. A lot of the roster information not fully updated on the website with it being opening week, so apologies to Mr. Crownover. But great pitcher so far from what we're seeing. Pretty good stint from Banks Hickman as well. Great pitch from Crownover, excuse me. 0-1 count. Also worth mentioning that up to the plate, reading that outside ball. Trying to catch that number, make sure that we get that part of the order right.
Number 17, Dawson.
That's number, see here. Yeah, you're right. That is a number 17. Somebody who was not in the starting lineup originally. That is Dawson Vaughn coming into the lineup now. Again, we're working together up here. Please do excuse any slight delays, but we're rolling now in the bottom of the fifth. Count is also 1-2 now. Make it 2-2. Dawson Vaughn, fun fact, actually was listed as a pitcher in my notes based on what I was seeing from his scouting profiles. Somebody with a pretty wide range between his fastball and his breaking balls, but will be victim of one there. That's 2 outs now as London Crownover really going to work.
Designated hitter number 25, Evan Warren.
That brings Evan Warren up now to the plate, which means that was Landon Barr who was subbed out in place of Dawson Vaughn. Evan Warren, one of the only lefty hitters on this lineup. Hasn't gotten to showcase it, but man, you want to talk about a showcase? London Crownover's doing that right now. 0-1 count to start. Make it 0-2. Looked like a slider catching the outside there. Crownover. Looking to bring this inning down. Look for the outside, but similar pitch will not bait out Evan Warren. 1-2 count now. Again, trying to catch the outside. 2-2 count now. Got room to play with, though, if you're Crownover. Especially finding those 2 batters within the span of 4 pitches. Or 5 pitches, excuse me. Huge breaking ball. Tried to find its way back in, but instead it's 3 straight balls. It brings the count now to 3-2. Again, do apologize for the slight visual issues. Again, technical difficulties, doubleheader. But how about a 3rd strike? And that's 3 up, 3 down for Crownover. We will be right back with the top of the 6th as what can you do against the defending champions? Right now, that answer is absolutely nada. But we'll be back with Gainesville's attempt at it very shortly. Well, I beg the question of what can Gainesville do to get back into this game? Well, how about you bring in Chase Griffith, number 32, with probably the best release we've seen so far in this game. Getting real down low to try and fool some batters here. Kicking off for the Atlanta side will be Colby Cather. He'll be the first to deal with the submarine that is Griffith. How about that? Second pitch. Inside, but will be dodged by Cather. Brings the count to 1-1. This is now pitcher number 4 for the Gainesville side. Really letting them all get a swing at it. That one tried to catch the top side of the zone, but the rising ball will not. Also worth mentioning as well that the pitching depth listed on the roster right now for Gainesville is very much maybe half or maybe even a third of what the pitching depth is listed on for the Crackers roster. So you're kind of running towards the end here. But still looking at 2 innings to go. You could absolutely see these pitchers go the distance. Especially if they can get hot, which is what Gainesville's been struggling to find consistently all night, as that one is struck down the third base line, but will find its way foul. 2-2 count now. That is 3-2, I believe, from what the umpire just filled us in on. Full count pitch is going to be behind the batter and Griffith, not able to find that hot start that they're searching for.
First baseman, number 29, Braden Warren.
It's going to bring up the lefty and Braden Warren back up. Not a lot of substitutions being dug out of the bag for Atlanta. Quick little meeting called by the catcher as well. Also, after Evan Warren wraps up this at-bat, we'll be back at the top of the lineup for Atlanta here towards the primetime stretch of this game. Also, I will say this, first base umpire has not lost any energy tonight and has been the loudest person at all the entire night. Need that type of energy to keep us all awake. It's 10:30 Eastern time now in this doubleheader. I believe the game before this wrapped up just around 8:10. Got started this one around 8:25, 8:30, and we're going to see it all the way through to the bottom of the 7th, if needed, which at this rate will be. Griffith looking again, but sidearm approach will not find its way back in the zone. We'll get this count started 1-0. Griffith delivers again. That one closer, but no cigar there. 2-0 count now. Righty not paying any mind to the first base runner as well, but that first base runner doesn't seem to want to move just yet. That one as well, closer, but still a ball. 3-0 count now. What do you got here? Griffith looking outside. 4 balls in a row. We'll put runners on first and second with no outs recorded. Also, scoreboard was not updated. It's top of the 6th, not bottom of the 5th.
Third baseman, number 1, Jaden Nunez.
However, we are at the top of the order for Atlanta. Jaden Nunez, number 1. Gets one down the middle, but again, coming across that submarine release, righty v righty, it's a hard spot hit in. 0-1 start. Griffith looks back in. Does force Nunez a swing. 0-2 count now. Third pitch, right back at Griffith. Diving second baseman can't find his way onto that one. Ball will try to be relayed in, but it will not be remotely close. That's run number 9 for Atlanta now. We'll also keep runners on first and second. Great strike from the leading man. Jay Nunez now on first. It is not Caleb Farr. It is a pinch hitter who is in. I believe that number might read 14. Do excuse us as we try to find that. But I'm not 100% sure if that's Nate Campbell yet. We'll get a look at it in a second here. Well, if they swing. That is number 14. That is indeed Nate Campbell, the center fielder.
Number 14, pitch hitting, Nate Campbell.
Nate Campbell, out of all the center fielders on this roster, actually has the biggest frame, standing at 6 foot, 190 pounds. The righty will get another look from Griffith. Excuse me. Just waiting to see how that one landed. Will be 2-0 count. Griffith still looking to record that first out of this half inning. Not on the right track now. It's going to be 3-0, but a lot of close calls. The release of Nightmares will wind up for the fourth one in this run-in. Finds its way outside. Will be 4 balls in a row once again. And that will load the bases again for Atlanta. Time called for Gainesville. Talk it over. If my memory does serve correctly, I believe this is going to be now the 4th instance of loaded bases, potentially 5th if I remember that first inning correctly, for Gainesville. They've only found their way out of 1, and that was, I believe, at the hands of the lefty Trey Farr. We are very far from that inning, however, sitting here in the top of the 6th, already allowing a run for Atlanta. Up to the plate now looks to be number 4. Double checking if that's correct. I do believe it's a 4 or a 6. Excuse me as we're trying to get that figured out. Should be Gable, but not entirely sure. That is number 6, excuse me. That is going to be Braden Gable. No changes there.
Number 6, Braden Gable.
Looking to get Griffith off of that mound and to put one in play. Finally finds that inside. Brings the count to 1-1. Griffith looking to settle into this inning. Will find the outside now. How about that? You go inside, you go outside back-to-back. Brings the count to 1-2. Got to give Gable credit. Getting fairly close to the plate, especially from this release. Makes it just a little harder. Also finds a gap between the third and shortstop side. Will bring another run in and will keep the bases loaded. Makes it 10-3 with not a single out recorded still for Gainesville. Searching or begging for an answer at this rate. On the verge of potentially reaching the 4 runs in an inning that we've hit twice already into this one. But Griffith with nothing to lose now. Staring down the barrel of...
Extra hitter number 36,
It's going to be the extra hitter.
Jackson.
Tyler Jackson. No changes there as well. Atlanta only bringing a singular sub so far, I do believe. A singular pinch hitter so far. As we sit at the 4th spot in the order. Dangerous usage of the extra hitter potentially here. Not to mention that Connor Hilton's up right after this. Still waiting for his big hit of the game, which seems inevitable if these bases stay loaded, as the count keeps on going in the direction of Atlanta. Griffith. Backhand towards Jackson here. That one is sky high. Jackson not too happy with it. Will be found by the second baseman. However, tagged run. Is it going to be a tag? And it's actually not going to be found. However, the play to third will also not be a tag out. Heads up from Atlanta there will bring the run tally to 11 and will advance the runner to third with only 1 out recorded. Runner on first through all that as well. Great play from the second baseman, but Gainsville gets a little awkward, gets a little caught up in that moment. Not able to get that ball in time, but the tag was narrowly close. Up to the plate is that aforementioned Connor Hilton, excuse me. Just looking to add insult to injury, looking once again for that 4th run. That ball's inside. Brings the count to 2-0 now. Runners on the corners. Only 1 out. Still looking to get that first base runner moved. That one will be struck out to right field. Will be short as well. Will also advance a predestined runner who was banking on that one dropping all the way to third. Again, more heads-up base running brings the tally to 12-3 now. That is also the most runs scored in a game in opening week so far. I believe the record to beat was 8.
Pitching in number 13, Landon Armstrong.
Brings in number 13, Landon Armstrong to the plate now. One of the only other pinch hitters so far. Plays at Georgia College in Milledgeville. 6 foot 190, also one of the outfielders on this lineup. However, we'll have to see on the other side of the inning where he ends up playing, as he does have experience on the corners as well. Has runners on those aforementioned corners trying to be brought in. That pitch, high and inside. Next pitch on its way to Armstrong. Will be swung on early. Brings the count to 1-1. Griffith trying to still get out of a nightmare inning. Looking for a second out. This pitch could get started. Will at least bring the count to 1-2. Next serving towards Armstrong's way. Armstrong also a catcher, not a center fielder. Excuse my mispronunciation there. Very comfortable around the plate. Showing it so far in the count as well, I believe sits at 2-2. Next pitch is delivered. Will be cracked out towards left field. Runners ready to tag up. Will do so. Throw will come in. It will have to be relayed, and it won't be enough. That's Gable coming in to score what is now the 13th run for Atlanta. Brings it brings the shortstop Luke Bazaar out now. Only one other runner to worry about, but also a 10-run lead. That pitch too far inside. Next pitch. Won't be too inside. 1-1 now. You do have 2 outs if you're Griffith. Just need one more play to first. Won't be found there. Runner from first won't move off the slight miscue of the catch there. Count moves to 2-1. Next serving in. Again, too far inside. Brings the count to 3-1 now. That one swung at and down. Brings it to a full count now. Getting out of this inning alive is on the line here. Bazaar has a chance to stop it. Griffith does deliver. That ball is flying high. Will it be over the backstop? Finds its way towards the dugout, actually, so it won't be caught regardless. Still alive at full count. Next serving from Griffith. Still full count. Bazaar crowding that submarine side. It's low and towards the foot. Will be ball 4. Brings up number 16. No changes there. Designated hitter, Jack Taylor. Higher pitch for a taller player, standing at 6 foot. Griffith can't find the zone there, though. Start off with ball 1. Next pitch does find its way into the zone, but will be an easy force out. And even though you bleed 5 runs, you will take getting out of it here. We'll make our way to the bottom of the 6th, and what has quickly turned into a one-sided shootout, a blowout, if you will, for Atlanta. We'll see what happens in the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th now, trying to fight away run rule. That sits at 10. The lead is exactly that. Pitching change as well for Atlanta is number 12, Sean Crawford, another lefty. Just pulling him out of a hat here for Atlanta. That's how deep the pitching, not only pitching staff is, but also the pitching rotation as well. It's a very formidable bullpen for the defending champions. However, we're going to start 2-0. Crawford delivers the next pitch. That one looked good, but dropped low. 3-0 start. Trying to get out of the 3-0 hole. Next pitch. Just places it in the zone. 3-1 now. Next delivery also will find its way in the zone, and all of a sudden we're at full count. I believe that is Cade Kiz, number 14, who's hitting right now. Smack dab in the middle of the Gainesville lineup. Again with Mercer Rule on the line. Not the worst spot, not the best spot. That one absolutely struck and drops in between the second fielder and the right fielder. Great hit from Cade Kiz. We'll get him on base. Noah Darden will come up now to represent. Darden also the only returning Gol'Digger on this roster from what I have at least done in my pregame research. Darden as well, transferring from UNG to West Georgia. Very excited to see what he does at his new home. Watch that first one go outside as well. Sean Crawford as well, not only being a lefty, but currently playing at Coastal Alabama. We'll watch that one go right by his feet. We'll put 2 runners on now. I was also going to add that you might be able to tell from the camera, you might not be able to, but Crawford stands at a 6'2", 210. So not only a lefty, but a huge lefty at that. Whole lot of power coming down the mound. Jonathan Smith, number 16, pinch hitting in the lineup now. That's in place of Jason Williams. Looking to potentially load the bases. It's going to be a little harder than that, though. You'll start down 0-1. Again, trying to fight the run rule, trying to get another inning of play. You're 1 run away. You're that second base runner away from guaranteeing that. Ball will hit the dirt. We'll make the count 1-1. Especially in these early games, especially the first game of the SBL season. You'll take any extra play time you can get, especially against one of the best rosters, if not the best roster in the league. However, these two will go right back against each other at the exact same start time, which is supposed to be 8:05 Eastern this Wednesday, right back here at the Georgia State Baseball Complex. What's not complex is the lefty delivering, though. Once again, into the strike zone. Makes it 1-2. Looking to record the first out of this bottom side on their way to a rout of the Gol'Diggers. Need this one here. Will be low and will advance both runners. Could potentially find their way home. Will not. Ball made its way all around the backstop. Brings the count to 2-2. Brings the runners to 2 and 3. I will say this for all of our lovely SBL staff. How fitting would it be that Gainesville finally gets their runs when Mercy Rule and everybody getting on their way home is out on the line? Obviously, we want more baseball, but It's also almost 11 o'clock. Never one to turn down free action, though. One swing of the bat away from potentially finding that. That one delivers. Will be a swinging strike 3 for the first out of this bottom side. The runners will still remain at 2 and 3. Also brings number 7 to the plate. It's going to be Ozzie Patterson in the same spot he's been in.
Catcher number 7, Ozzie Patterson.
Ozzie had a huge hit. I believe it was a double earlier in this game. Almost finds a ball to the leg, but a huge grab from the catcher. How about that one? Shout out to Landon Armstrong. Count will start off 1-0 from that. That ball will find its way towards the second baseman. Sliding play, and will find the second out, but Gainesville will get a run. Brings it to 4-13. Do with that what you will. Be excited if you must. 4-13 is better than 3-13, so you'll take it if you're Gainesville. A.J. Jones coming in. First pitch delivered high. We'll start off 1-0 once again for a Gainesville batter. A.J. Jones as well, a player who had a lot of success earlier in this game. Some very impressive base running. I think probably the most impressive base running from the Gainesville side this game. Wants to showcase it and might just do that starting off 2-0. Also a runner at third base. Two-0 count. Pitches outside, make it 3-0. Trying to fight back to the top of the order is Gainesville. A.J. Jones in the 9th spot. It's Anthony Almaroth waiting to get back on. It's actually a pinch hitter for Anthony Almaroth, but we'll figure out who that is in a second. 3-1 count for now. In Anthony Almaroth's space in the hole is actually Archie Mason. Or Mason Archie, excuse me. And we will get to see Mason back, as A.J. Jones will find their way onto first off of a walk. Oh, it actually is still 42. I misread that as 12, excuse me. That is still Anthony Almaroth, and second baseman, I don't know if they were ready for that. Either way, we'll catch it. Another stolen base for A.J. Jones. Again, apologies, that is Anthony Almaroth up to the plate. Mason Archie still on the bench for now. Next pitch delivered. Down the middle, but high. Brings the count to 1-0. Almaroth, I will say, for the top of the lineup, still a little bit to be desired from this game's performance, but you'll take a 2-0 count to try and keep an extra inning of play moving. Next pitch for Almaroth. Right down the middle. We'll bring the count to 2-1. Sean Crawford still fighting on the mound. Not a dream inning per se, but you bring the count back to 2-2 for potentially the last out of this inning. Also, you've only allowed one. And again, you're up 13-4. Maroth, the next pitch, 2-2 count. Or excuse me, it was full. That's going to be ball 4. That will bring the bases loaded for Gainesville. Will also bring a very quick timeout for the catcher to try and whip Crawford into shape.
Pitching for the Gol'Diggers, number 12, Mason Archie.
There is Mason Archie now. Coming into Jock Walker's spot, the second spot on the lineup. So in the meantime, while the pitchers meeting wraps up, we can talk about Mason Archie. Currently playing at Young Harris, a rising sophomore representing Brookwood High School. Also another extremely fast player on this roster. As a diving play by the catcher is made. Running a 6.7 second 60-yard dash with a 1.5 second 10-yard split. Again, somebody who, similar to A.J. Jones, has been very, very hyped among that explosive first step in that 10-yard split. Looking to showcase it here. Big chunk in that one is taken. Not happy with that at all. Brings the count now to 1-1. See what the rising sophomore can bring. Next pitch is in. Will be absolutely slapped out toward the center fielder, trying to end this inning, but it will be over the heads and towards the wall for Mason Archie. Rounding his way around second, wants third, wants to get all these runners home. Will do exactly that, and we'll get a triple for it. How about that for Mason Archie? The saying is out of left field, but slammed into right field will bring 3 runners home. Will make the tally 7-13 now. And a big triple for Mason Archie. One of the best hits of the game. Completely cleans the bases out. And here we were talking mercy rule. We're going to get an extra inning, and who knows what could happen at this rate. Granted, with only an extra inning of play, being hopeful at 11 o'clock at night is not a recommended move by any doctors, but surgical for Gainesville to find an extra 3 runs, or 4 runs this inning specifically. That will also retire Sean Crawford off the mound. We'll get a pitching change here. Figure out who that is shortly. Coming to fill for Sean Crawford. It's going to be number 17. That is Nick Bennett on the mound now. Going back to the righties for Atlanta. Mason Archie. Pinch hitting and hitting a clear the bases, 3 RBI triple, of all things, to keep this game interesting. As that one even caught me off guard as it was almost inside to hit a player, but will not. That'll be ball 1.
Now the number crackers number 17, Nick Bennett.
That is trying to make sure we get the right hitter here. Either way, 2 outs for Nick Bennett and only 1 runner on, so not the worst situation to come into post 3 RBI triple. However, it could continue unless the center or the right fielder can track that one down. Right fielder, Will, as we are getting worn out here to the very last inning. We're going to go to the top of the 7th as we try to wrap up before midnight. Well, how about this for the top of the 7th? A.J. Jones will come in and pitch. And I will be completely honest with everybody here watching the stream. I do not have any pitching stats for A.J. Jones. So we're going to be front row seat for whatever happens here. Many players on these SBL rosters obviously have a lot of experience doing both. A lot of these players compete in combines where they're forced to do both. So maybe there is something that A.J. Jones has in the back pocket. But count will start 1-0.
Pitch hitting number 2, Hudson Spencer.
There's also another pinch hitter for Atlanta. It's number 2, Hudson Spencer. As in notes for Hudson Spencer, as he crushes that one to center field, as it will be tracked down, and I believe, was it caught or not? It was. So great hit, but better defense. I'll give Hudson his flowers very quickly, though. Is a freshman at West Florida, is a rising sophomore, was also the MVP for his high school. That's Kings Ridge Christian School in Milton. Was named to the All-State second team and named All-Region.
First baseman number 29, Braden Warren.
Braden Warren will round out the 10th spot in the lineup. Has not moved the entire night. Take a slice out of that one for what I believe is 0-1. Really trying to nurse this one home, both these teams are, but also not entirely impossible. At least if you're a Gainesville fan trying to hold some midnight hope. I'll have to see if the slipper still fits when we get to the bottom of the 7th, but you got to get out of this one without allowing any runs. Count moves to 1-1. A.J. Jones, after finding the first out, brings it to 1-2. I will give A.J. some flowers as well, as found his first out quicker than I think half the pitchers who have pitched for Gainesville tonight have found it. So credit to A.J., who is a position player for the team, but making a stint here. Almost finds strike 3 there, but still fighting at the plate is Warren. Count still remains at 1-2. A.J. looking. Forces a hit that will find its way to the third baseman, but it will not be scooped up. Warren will find his way to first.
I batted third baseman number 1, Jay Nunez.
Jaden Nunez back up to the plate now. Definitely has gotten hotter as the game's gone on, even though it's cooled down right here in Decatur. This pitch delivered, catches the outside of the plate. Again, excuse me, still trying to nurse this one home tonight. Count will start 0-1. Next pitch is in the dirt, but is fielded well. Count goes to 1-1. Next pitch is outside as well. 2-1 now in the top of the 7th. That one cracked out towards center field, will be tracked and caught. That's out number 2. Keeps the runner at first as well. Still 7-13. Number 14, Nate Campbell, comes up to hit again. Again, in case anyone's joined us late, I'll give some extra stats on Nate Campbell. He is the biggest frame out of all the center fielders. A lot of power in that build. Tried to show it last at bat. Again, I don't have all the exact stats. I don't remember how deep that last at bat went, but looking for a little more impact in the later stage of the 7th inning. 2-0 count will do that for you, with a runner on first. Again, any extension of this 13-7 lead, you'll take it, especially after giving up 4 runs in the last inning. Letting the mercy rule slip by. That one is shot over our heads. We'll go foul over the clubhouse, and it will now be 2-1. Follow-up pitch from A.J. Jones. Position player forces it outside. 3-1 now. I will continue to give Jones his flowers. Again, being a position player for the majority of this game and showing some base running as well. Really doing it all in this one. Could that be out number 3? Can the catcher track it in time? Yeah, the answer is no as it curves its way back. Does bring the count full, though. A.J. Jones looks to bring one of the few scoreless innings that Gainesville have been able to find. I say few, but it would be 4 out of the 7. Again, just very rough compared to the 4-run, 4-run, 5-run innings. But again, at this stage in the game, you're just trying to survive and not dig too deep into the bullpen with a game on Wednesday. AJ delivers. How about that? Strike 3, and that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the 7th. And again, trying to beat out the clock before it strikes midnight. But also Gainsville. Still one more chance to stay in this one. We'll see what happens in the bottom of the 7th. Up for Gainesville. It'll be Evan Warren in the 4 spot in the lineup. Take a chunk out of that one to try and kickstart the comeback that would be probably one of the best of the season here in opening week if they could pull it off, but we're a few bats away from that. Take it one at a time. Evan Warren. Did he go? These umpires, again, as loud and as active as ever, even at 11 o'clock. Did not go, though, so count as 1-1. Follow-up offering is going to be sent into the net. Brings the count to 1-2. There's 2-2, excuse me, based on what the umpire has just said. 2-2 serving. Contact is made down the third base line. Will be found on a line scoop from the first baseman. How about that for out number 1? Still Nick Bennett on the mound as well. It's the righty, excuse me. Just trying to keep things moving. Cade Kidd's in the middle of the lineup at the 5 spot. Been in the whole game. We'll try and do what Warren couldn't to try and get a comeback going. But again, we're a few bats away. Just a few from getting there. That ball will find its way flying towards the backstop, but only ball 1, nobody on base. No harm, no foul. That one sounds good, but it's right to the shortstop and is ripped across for out number 2. Crackers now 1 out away from calling this game as Noah Darden, again, the only returning Gainesville Gold-Digger, will try to keep the crest alive. See what the lefty has in store versus the righty. 1 out away from calling game. 11:15 Eastern Time. What's in store here? First pitch. Down, low, and inside. It's ball one. Darden, the rising junior, definitely brings composure to a moment like this. However, lets that one go. Thought about swinging at it, and it's probably going to be okay not. Counts only 1-1. Next offering for Nick Bennett. Outside. Count is 2-1. That one looks good, but is low. 3-1 now. Nick Bennett's got to fight just a little harder to end this game right here and now. At the hands of Noah Darden. Follow-up offering needs to find the zone. Will be put in play. Can the shortstop get there in time to call game? Close, but out, and that will do it. 13-7 is your final score, and what was one of the, actually was the biggest shootout run based in terms of all of the opening week games. We are so thankful to have you all here with us here in Decatur, Georgia, at the Georgia State Baseball Complex. We will also be back here for more games. Obviously, this Wednesday we'll be right back at it with another doubleheader, at least from my end of things. Gainesville will return to play the Atlanta Crackers right here at this very stadium at 8:05 Eastern Time. And ideally, we won't go to 11:20. But who knows, with the amount of pressure and the amount of runs that this Crackers team can bring, they are the defending champs for a reason. They've brought back so much talent. And even though their number one, number two, number three players who were returning didn't need to be the ones to make the biggest plays, that right there goes to show how dangerous this Atlanta roster can and will be throughout the entire season. But on that note, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you here for what has been a long day of doubleheader baseball games. But one last time from Decatur, Georgia, from the Georgia State Baseball Complex, we're going to get out of here. We're going to get back on the road and get home safely. We wish the best to all the fans. Absolutely wish the best to all the viewers, whether you're at home or driving around. We wish you the best. Wish you a very good night. We'll see you Wednesday.